You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Black and White sports fans, let's talk about LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers yet again. Now, I already talked about how they got blown out to Kingdom Come against the Phoenix Suns. And the Phoenix Suns may be the best team in the NBA. I believe they still have the best record in the NBA, while the Lakers are a mediocre 16-16 on the season. They have greatly underachieved to many people in the sports media, but to me, they're pretty much where I thought they would be. This is an aging old roster, injury prone. We know that the injuries were going to pile up, and they have. Anthony Davis, their youngest star, he's out again. That's why Charles Barkley called him street clothes. He's always injured, and he's in the prime of his career. Now, LeBron James is about to be 37 here next week. He's old. He's still producing, but he can no longer carry a mediocre roster to great heights anymore. LeBron himself, he's missed roughly like a third of the season already with injuries, and he's not getting any younger. But LeBron James engineered this roster here. However, ESPN's Kendrick Perkins, I believe, is putting an idea into the mind of LeBron James because he put out a tweet that is starting to get some traction out there. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's dive into this, guys. Kendrick Perkins, and this is on Barstool Sports. Kendrick Perkins is wondering if LeBron would consider demanding a trade to the Cavs, and I'm wondering if the Cavs would even say yes. Now, this is by Greeny over here at Barstool Sports. And boy, one thing I can say about LeBron James, he has always fulfilled his contract. Now, he has one more guaranteed year on his contract, and that's next year. So Kendrick Perkins is proposing this. This is what he tweeted out. He says, I wonder if LeBron James would consider demanding a trade to Cleveland. I mean, the Cavs do have a nice squad. Don't mind me, though, and carry on. Now, the Cavaliers are actually doing pretty good this year. I believe they are 19-12 or 19-13 on the season. Better than the Lakers. And honestly, guys, I really don't see LeBron James requesting a trade to back to Cleveland. I believe truly that LeBron James despises Dan Gilbert. And I believe it would take a lot for LeBron to go back. He did deliver a championship over there. And once that was done, I think LeBron James pretty much, want to wash his hands clean of going back to Dan Gilbert again. Now, Kendrick Perkins, man, his takes on the NBA are not very good. I don't know why this guy actually has a job at ESPN, because does he know what the Cavaliers would need to do to get back an aging LeBron James? They would pretty much have to gut their roster, and then Cleveland would not be very good anymore. Why in the world would you want to just sell off your future to get LeBron James, who doesn't have many years left in NBA? Doesn't make any sense. But let's read what Barstool has to say about this. Coming off a 108-90 Lakers ass kicking, Perk took to Twitter to fire off that take question. It's not the first time we've heard it, and Lord knows Perk loves to throw shit out on Twitter, regardless of how ridiculous it might be, and it's why we love him. When it comes to LeBron and the future of the Lakers, it's not exactly news that they basically sold out in order to win a ring, and they did. Yeah, they went out and they got pretty much every aging veteran you can get. I mean, Carmelo Anthony on his team coming off the bench, Russell Westbrook, and who is probably the major problem on his team. And boy, I believe he has something like 2 years, $91 million. Very, very hard to move him. It's going to be extremely hard to move him. Now, LeBron James making over 40 plus million also. Wow, this roster is a mess. But you know what? LeBron James engineered this mess. This is his doing. This isn't the Lakers GM Rob Pelinka. LeBron James built this roster, and he's going to have to pay the price for this. And it says, but now what? The team is old, hurt, and underachieving. In the past, this is when you would start to expect LeBron to get a little restless. He did his part, traded away all the youth on the roster in order for more proven vets in an attempt to win a title, and he did. Now, LeBron James has never been a fan of young rosters. He hasn't. And when you look at his time in Miami, that team got really old, really fast, and then he jumped ship and went back to Cleveland. He loves veteran teams. But even LeBron at this point has to know that this Lakers team ain't going nowhere. I mean, even the biggest LeBron loyalists out there have jumped ship. Shannon Sharp said that the Lakers are a play-in tournament team at best. He has jumped the ship. He has jumped the ship. And you know, Shannon Sharp, a.k.a. LaShannon Sharp, loves him some LaChina James. But even he has said, no, this team ain't going nowhere. But it goes on. It says, seeing as how he's in year 19, there's little chance he's going to want to do that while being a Laker. And I believe, folks, if he actually does try to force his way out of the Lakers, I don't believe that LeBron, I believe his reputation will really take a hit. I truly do believe that because he built this mess. And if he forces his way out there and leaves the Lakers in a mess, even worse than what they are now, his reputation is going to take a hit. I truly do believe that. Now, it's going to take a hit for many other things that we have covered on this channel. And it'll just be even worse to me. I mean, why would LeBron just want to jump ship like that? I know he wants another ring, but forcing his way to Cleveland, he's not going to win a ring in Cleveland because they would pretty much have to gut the roster. And even if it wasn't all players and draft picks, would the Cavaliers really want to sacrifice a bunch of draft picks to get LeBron for a couple of years? I mean, even if they traded him today, they would have him for the rest of this season and all the next year. And then LeBron James can just jump ship again. If the Cavs are bad, you think he's going to stick around? No, LeBron James is going to jump ship. It's not even worth it. So I don't even know why Kendrick Perkins even brought this up. Okay. It goes on. It says, you have to remember here, Perk is basically an extension of Clutch. He's cashing that Clutch check and has been for a while. A good gig if you can get it. So with that in mind, could there be any substance to his claim? I don't think you can rule it out completely. So my question is, would the Cavs even do this? That feels insane to say, but at the same time, think about it. It would require them to basically gut their roster. And if you haven't been paying attention, the Cavs are having an awesome year, currently third seed, 19-12. I believe they're 19-13 now, but I could be wrong. And are loaded with very intriguing and only getting better young talent. I'm curious what Cavs fans would even want in this hypothetical, given what happened in 2016 and the fact that history suggests if LeBron is on your team in the East, you're a lot to make the finals. Would they take that risk again? It's taken them so long to get back to being competitive and having legit talent up and down the roster. Would you give that up for one last run with LeBron? No, because I believe even with LeBron on this roster, the Cavaliers, and you have to give away a lot of stuff, they're not beating the Nets. They're not beating the defending champs, the Bucks. Not going to happen. They're not getting out the East. With no guarantees in life, I don't think it's crazy to suggest that they wouldn't even be interested, given what the price would be to trade for LeBron and his $41 million salary. Plus, he's only has one more guaranteed year on his current deal. I feel confident in saying the Lakers would have no interest in Kevin Love's huge deal. I wouldn't take that deal either. So how would it even work? I can't imagine the Lakers would be foaming at the mouth to pay a currently injured Colin Sexton after the season, so that rules him out from a talent perspective. And I'm not going to read the rest of this, man, but the Cavs would not do this deal. I don't think they would. They have a good thing going on right now. They really do. And LeBron James, I know the fans over there, they love him. You know, they probably get excited, but man, it'll be a lose-lose situation for both sides. You're ruining your future. You're not going to win a title. LeBron comes back. LeBron would be on a mediocre team then. It's a lose-lose situation for both parties. And I just don't see LeBron James really wanting to do this. Now, if you're going to force a trade, to a contender. But I don't even see LeBron James going to saying, you know what, trade me to the Nets, trade me to the Warriors, because I believe that would probably even make him worse. Best case scenario would be a trade to the Cavaliers, but it just would not work out. It really wouldn't. LeBron is where he's going to be. I believe he's going to be a Laker all the way through the end of next season. And if he's going to be a free agent and the Cavs are still good, maybe LeBron James may want to go back to Cleveland for, one hurrah on his last legs, because he'll be like 39 years old. I still wouldn't sign a 39-year-old LeBron James if I was the Cavaliers either. I wouldn't do it. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, Kendrick Perkins proposing that LeBron James should basically quit on the Lakers and go back to Cleveland, force a trade to Cleveland. If LeBron James quits on the Lakers, his reputation would take a massive hit. I mean, this would essentially be what James Harden did, forcing his way out of Houston when he pretty much quit on the Houston Rockets. LeBron James would get crushed if he did that. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.